uh streaming, what you think? At this point, by this time, we can see who's streaming and who ain't. Bars. Fuck all that, man. Mix that mud up. I already got the mud and it's already mixed up. You're lying. I'm looking at the mud. It's right there. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. It's over here. It's over there. It's in here. Nuh-uh. Look. Lying, bro. It ain't in my hair. It ain't in my hair. You lie. Why you breathing so hard then? Mix that mud up. Mix it up. Mix that mud. Mix that mud up. All right. I'ma mix it up. I'ma mix it up. I'ma mix it up then. Mix it up then. Mix that mud up. I'm mixing it right now. But stop talking. Stop talking. Let me be quiet. If you mixing it, let me hear you mix it then and make damn sure you mixing it. Come a little closer. I want to hear you mix it up. I want to hear you mix that mud up. I want to hear you. Put that down. Mud on it. Mix that mud. Mix it up. Mix it up. Good now. Shut up. Ooh, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's really doing it. He's doing it. He's mixing. He's mixing. One more final step. Mix that mud up. That's enough. Now mix it up. Yeah, mix that mud up. Mix it up. Mix it good. Yeah. Now you mix that mud up. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-wee. He's a mud mixer. Give me some. Give me some. Look at LA. You was talking about tanking. Who's tanking and who ain't tanking? Tank. And that's been one of the more surprising things because there's not as many teams all going on the all out tank as you may think. LA just had they flow boys out there getting shit primed up for the next home game. Advertisements are not a plus. They are a must. Bills have to get paid. I would like a feature where we could put in more, but you do get to put in a good bit. We should be happy with that. Because look, alive, you can't put none in live. And that's why I don't be on live much at all. It's not even installed right now. And I'm not everybody else. All you would have to simply do is use and put in the same feature that 2K did, and then you allow so much more money to be made, to more people to get paid. Money is like blood because money needs to be in circulation. Money is circulation. It's how it works well. You know, pulling back features and taking on this hoarding mentality stops the blood flow, stops the circulation, and that's how you have health problems. You don't have health problems when everything's circulating, percolating. The only other, but the next home game will probably be what it is, like that. Now let's take a look at the year. We come this close to the first. We're gonna catch up. We might not. We might even actually get ahead of schedule this week. But this is the final week of basketball of the year. That's wow. That's crazy that we're in the final week of the year already. But it's like it just started. It's like it just started. There are no games scheduled today on the eve. That's in the official league. We about to take a look at this schedule. See where we can get in at. I mean, it went by so fast. I just want to start over. I want a reset button and just go back because it's going so fast that we'll be halfway already. Before we know it, season be halfway done. It's kind of weird because we're normally looking forward to the postseason, but now we're just kind of here, kind of where we're at, and it's better that way. It's better to be where you at than to be rushing toward the postseason. Because look how many teams, how many players are not going to be playing basketball in the postseason. It'll be a different time of year. It'll be a different subject matter. It'll be a different intensity. It'll be a different game. On this team right now, LeBron James is mentoring Kuzma. He might fluctuate between Kuzma, Ingram, maybe somebody else, even Alonzo. But he's really working hard on Kyle Kuzma right now. Now take a look at this. Nobody in the Western Conference is tanking but one team. We thought there'd have been two or three teams. We didn't go to the East yet. We're looking at the West. The only team that's all out tank mode is an expansion team anyway. And by this point, and what we're calling it all out tank, they were trying to win games in the first 10 to 20 games. Now they've embraced the all out tank mode. But in the beginning of the year, they were making moves. In the beginning of the year, they went out there and they was grabbing guys. They were grabbing guys. They went and grabbed free agent Trevor Booker. They went and grabbed Willie Reed. Nobody knew Dwight Bikes was this caliber of an NBA player. This guy was unemployed before Las Vegas became an expansion team. Now, not only is he employed, not only is he a starting point guard for an NBA franchise, he's on the verge. He's playing an. He's an all-star. He won't make the all-star game. So people aren't going to vote him in. His numbers, he actually, in comparison to other guys, he's not quite. He's not there yet. It's not a crime that he's not going to be in the All-Star game, but look at this season he's having. He could almost be in the All-Star game. But this is, in all these numbers, these stretches, and he's been pretty consistent. If you start looking up at the All-Star, the guys in the All-Star game, they had off nights. They don't put up 20 points every night either. But this Dwight Bikes would be unemployed on a couch somewhere maybe, or a D-League, wherever he would be. He's the starting point guard in the NBA franchise now. Out of nowhere. It's insane. He's on a 1-year deal for $1.51 million. 29 years old. If anybody's made a move for him as trying to acquire him, I haven't heard about it. It's almost like, is he for real? It's ever since this season has started. Everybody's waited for the next game, because the next game it would all be over. Everybody thought the next game you would not be saying Dwight Bikes anymore, because he wouldn't be scoring 20-something points, 7 assists, even though they're losing. Before, you had your all-star candidates, nobody else was coming. You had some rookies who may do something or may not, but it was set in stone. Now, with the expansion team, people should have been smart enough to say, okay, there's a possibility that out of these 14 guys, one of them may be an all-star and be in changing conversations. Dialogue and narratives can be changed. They're constantly changing. It won't be nothing but a performance, a continued consistency of performances to have names change. And it's happened. And then in the same token, it hasn't happened. What else did they do? I think they went sign Lance Thomas. Now, these are all October-ish transactions. They haven't done nothing. November and now December's almost wrapped up. They haven't done nothing as far as transactions go. As far as the changes the coach has made, that's another thing. You haven't expanded now. There's 31 teams right now with this Las Vegas. They want 32 like the NFL. But just because they want it don't mean it's gonna happen. Because the expansion is pending. And there's others pending. I'm just finding this shit out. I had to talk to the owners of other teams to find this out. Some people in the league is secretive. Nobody really streams, except for a few. But the other ones love the anonymity. What would that be? Anonymousness? Like, they're kind of behind on the times because you can't be anonymous. Just because you're not a player or a coach anymore, your involvement is not going to be anonymous anymore. If you have any dealings with the investment, you may have a lesser notoriety, but you're not going to have zero notoriety. You know, coaches, owners, users, page managers, all these different things, you know. Sometimes you can have a page manager with more notoriety, like especially when the bets are going, because it's all about bets. It's all about fans betting, no matter if they're betting, no matter what the seat they're in is in the arena. No matter they're betting on their phone, hand-to-hand transactions, internet transactions. It's all about a circulation of money. All right? You bet from wherever you bet at. You bet with whoever you bet with. It's the circulation of currency that keeps and maintains billion-dollar industry. All the way down to 30 owners in the NBA, trickles down all the way to somebody firing up a system, moving their sticks, selecting a franchise and user controlling them as if their last name was McMahon. Now it's on a lesser level, not as much currency as McMahon's dealing with, but they're dealing with it. All right, they do it right. They still may not become McMahon, but their levels move up, like a game. You go to another level. If you start an online league and you get 30 people in your league, and you got 30 owners, and you charge them $100 a head, you know, the fantasy aspect of it, the traditional way, is the traditional way. We've upgraded. We're more sophisticated. It's still fantasy, but you have more control. Every day is draft night because you got more control now. Before, you only had control. You had the draft, and the draft is still life or death, but after the draft, you knew your control was done. You just make a few minor decisions here or there, do a little homework. So it's really a minor decision on the starting lineup, but it became major because it was the only thing for you to do, and if you fucked up on it, you were fucked. But now, it's sophisticated, it's upgraded. Because every detail, when you're winning and the money's coming, it's great. When you're losing, you know, a lot of guys, that's when they start getting more creative. That's when they're back out. They'll go to the advertisement section on the scoreboard where we was just at and start paying attention to every little detail. Well, look, because we playing on a power ranking system where every time whoever uses Golden State, every time they win, they're going to get $2 because they're a second-ranked team. Las Vegas got to get $31 to win it. They get $31 to win a game. Yeah, you want the losing team, right? Because you want $31 a game. Well, what happens when you only won 3 games? What happens when every time you play this second-ranked team, you can't beat them? So even though the owner of the Golden State Warriors is only getting $2 a game, they're getting Look at this. They won 20 games. 20 times 2. They're gonna win more money than you. You're not gonna get no money every time you play them. Now here's another interesting thing in our league. You got now this is the internal system comes with Mark Spears ranking system, NBA.com, 2K Sports. You get to choose which one you want. Thing is, once the season starts, you can't, until next season starts, you can't switch. It's fair. If you choose, you want to go on the Mark Spears power ranking system, that's the system you're going to get paid by. He's got Golden State number one. See how his is different? I don't know why NBA.com has Toronto ranked one, but the person who picked NBA.com system to go through, it's a little different. But then it all ends up kind of being the same. But it's the most interesting aspect because, it creates an interesting dynamic. It really is. But, so, Las Vegas got 3 wins. I'm using them for an example. We're not able to get the football league like this because the football don't come with a power ranking system like this. And even if it did, it would probably come with one. And it's better when you have 3 to choose from. Because everybody's picking different ones. So it's like, who do you pick? The beginning of the year, you kind of almost guessing. But it adds a balance to where who's going to argue with it? No, you're not going to go to the owner of the league. And it's the same way as a professional franchise. You got 30 owners. You make decisions, you have majority rules. And something like this, you can't get mad at the creator because it's a random chance. It's not one man just picking and choosing who he likes and who he don't and showing favoritism. It's already in-game built in. And you picked it. You're going to get whatever happens throughout the year. And I like to go for, if you're going to give me any information ahead of time, I'm going to go for the one that's the most realistic. And $1, sometimes, it's just an extra, sometimes an extra dollar is just an extra dollar. But it amplified the ranking system. It made it way more fun. It made it way more interesting. Before that, now guys will look when the power rankings drop, everybody's looking to see what the new rankings. It wasn't like that in the past. It wasn't like that the traditional way. That's fantasy upgraded. But now you got Los Angeles. I take that back. You got Las Vegas, who can't get a win to save their life. Why is Los Angeles Redmen, not Los Angeles, Las Vegas, my bad. It's the mud. Las Vegas going to pay attention. Golden State they're too busy winning. They're not paying attention to their court all that much. But Las Vegas, they over here. Needing a sponsor. If you sponsor them $1, they'll advertise you. When we talked about money and circulation, we didn't talk too much about the world of advertisement and how it works. How much of a genius it was for the people at 2K to implement this. I don't care if somebody makes a speech about the greatest thing ever and the outlet they use to make the speech is gameplay or in the background. It's just something like this. They could be talking about nothing that pertains to any kind of sports. But advertisements in the background. See, average people don't know this type of shit. But the elites who run shit know this type of shit. They know that everything that comes across the mind makes an impression. Everything that comes across a person's eyes makes an impression on their subconscious mind. They know by just eyes whether the stream don't have to get 1 million views. A stream only needs one view. Because one person viewed it, that person now has an image in their brain subliminally. You will consider whatever the fuck you consume. It don't matter what it is. That's why it's super important for people to be selective and weed out bullshit and only consume good shit. Because now their conscious and their subconscious it will weed out good shit. You could be powerful or you could have poison ivy in your garden, your mind. It works the same way with your ears too. But if you just keep getting messages of Lakers Nation, if you just keep getting anything that's the image or the brand of Los Angeles, all roads lead back home. In this situation, home is LA. So all roads leading home, it all leads back to the brand. Why would you want this outlet, these currency, whether they're electronic, these currency outlets to keep running to the same place? Because those are going to be bodies, those are going to be wallets, those are going to be views, those are going to be spoken about, it's going to be mentioned. It's going to put a body in all of them seats. The traffic. This could be electronic circulation. That traffic brings with it life. That life will consume things. And when it's consuming your shit, your players, your products, it's adding to your revenue. That's what it takes to survive. Because if not, then someone else would just take your position. All of them seats have a person in it. Any one of them persons could sit on a throne instead of a seat. And they could be the one having all the other people in their seats contribute to them. Hold up. This ain't got nothing to do with mud right now. No. Don't have nothing to do with mud right now. Yeah. It's got everything to do with mud. Mud works the same way. See, instead of it saying Laker Nation, it could say Mud Life. It could have Colombian coffee or something instead of Wingstop. But you could go to Wingstop and find other people's product on the shelf. And people who do this kind of shit for a living, that's why they're generous. And when I say generous, I'm not just talking about with how they spend their money. I mean they're genuine with their time and what they do. Meaning if you was affiliated with Wingstop, you would meet Wingstop and think all Wingstop talks about is the sell. But through a course of the day, or a week, or a month, or a year, you'll realize that only 15% of the time that Wingstop actually not even asked you, just subliminally showed you their self. And that was, in a way, when you show something subliminally, subliminally, you're already asking them to buy into your brand and your product. But you thought it would be Wingstop all the time. But what you ended up doing, you saw Wingstop was always hosting someone else, always sharing someone else. You was always selling someone else's product as if it was their own. And then every now and then, you seen Wingstop on their shirt, and you was like, oh shit. They don't have to come say, hey, you want to buy my wings? They wear a shirt that says Wingstop on it, and everywhere they go, they're asking someone to buy their product. Now, just behind the logo in the stands are fans. They love the wings. Some of them even love the colors of the logo. When they see it, their mouth waters. But those fans, 90% of them don't understand that they got it. Everything they do is an advertisement too. Every time they put on a shirt and they walk outside, because everybody else got a phone and they're going to see what you got on. You are advertising. You cannot opt out of the game. The only way to opt out the game is to die. While you are alive, you cannot opt out of it. You could go outside naked every day. You're advertising for nakedness. But who's doing that? And whoever does that or does that and did that, that's still what they're doing. They're advertising nakedness now. So you just take your own power back. Now, if everybody took their own power back and there was nobody in the stands because everybody took all their power back at one time, the world would stop. But it's not going to happen like that. It generally doesn't. The world keeps on spinning because inside of these fans' heads, every now and then, one of them, their world will stop and they'll start to figure shit out. But then guess what? They'll figure out how to add to it. They'll partnership and become part of it. They become part of the machine. Now, for the people who opt all the way out, go live deep on an island somewhere, you can only praise them because they are kind of saying, yes, you can opt out. Because they're living in such a way where they're living off the land. They're collecting the water, purifying it. They're doing everything self-sufficient. And then they're making it work. But there's so many people on the planet now that the machine needs people to play the game. The machine at this point needs people to play the game. The machine needs it now. Now, some people, the machine on its own is just a machine, but there's some people now that they are part of the machine and they will eat you. They'll eat everything in its way to do one thing. And you could all sum it all up to, well, what's that one thing? And that's to simply continue playing the game. To make sure the game continues to be played. Wow. Luke Walton, he's still the coach. He'll probably be the coach for the remainder of the year. Next year, I could not say. Luke Walton will be the coach the whole 2019. Now this, you could go. I could show you a Los Angeles roster by going to the roster, but this right here is the roster. This is the roster. We'll just start off with the guards. But something seems severely wrong. Extensions. Okay. This is where I thought I was going. I mean, they both go together. They're just kind of separated, but it's the same thing. They both go together. They both go together. They're looking at Rondo. I don't think he's going to get an extension. Oh, I'm looking at Ball. My bad. What I was about to say. Rondo's not on a contract like that. He's 32 years old. Lonzo, on the other hand, now that makes more sense. Now what I'm looking at makes sense. And this rookie, right now, LA loves this rookie. The performance he's already put on outweighs what he's been paid. And he's got potential out this world. I don't know about his official situation, but I'm talking about in the fantasy league. His intangibles, his height, his skill, with all the room for it to grow as is, he's already ready to back up Lonzo. He's already ready to be a backup point guard, and you can throw him in. He's been thrown in at the on the wing on the 3. Yeah, Josh Hart, Lance Stevenson, who so far has done a piss poor performance so far, but it could change. It could change tomorrow. It could change. Postseason, he could heat up. It could all be worth it. Caldwell Pope, another rookie, far exceeds his pay already. So kudos to LA in the draft department. Whoever they got in there, keep him there. Don't fire him. Give them raises. Kai Luke was a good pick. LeBron James. We're looking at right here is the last chapter. Whatever chapters come after, they won't be like this chapter. There'll be little bitty pages closing chapter, little bitty page closers. As far as chapters go, this is the last chapter. Since 2003, now it came down to this. Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Michael Beasley, Mo Wagner. I'm rooting for Mo. JaVale McGee, Tyson Chandler. Wow. 13 million. But give Tyson Chandler credit. You with him, you would have done the same thing at 36 years old and make you another 13 million and go out there, block some shots and get some rebounds. He's doing it. And then, that's what it is. Trade X, and then you got dead cap. I believe it just wasn't room on the roster. Officially, you see, he just had a nice performance. He could probably he can't do what Tyson Chandler can do, but he can do what Tyson Chandler can do. He can rebound too, and he's 21 years old. You know, I don't understand why they let him go. Even if there wasn't room on the roster, who took his spot? Oh, I remember now. Tyson Chandler officially came in, so a decision had to be made. A decision had to be made, even though it's virtual, even though it's fantasy. A decision had to be made. Tyson Chandler's in now. You're going to cut. You need to sign him. You don't have to sign him, but maybe you should. So obviously he was signed. I didn't even know the Cavaliers had done that. From the NBA to the G League, back to the NBA. But I did know, which we didn't get to Chicago yet, I did know, mix that mud up, I did know that they hired Jim Boylan. I did know that. Because that was interesting. You know, when everything is noteworthy, you get lost in the sauce sometimes. But you can only consume so much. There's only so much you can consider. And that's not even trending anymore. Just that quick. And it just happened not that long ago, but it's not trending anymore. No. Trending is be its own animal. So, I'll look at Chicago because we never even went to the East yet. So let's go to the East. You think when we get to this bottom down here, you're going to see 2 or 3 teams in tank mode? But guess what? And the Waters had to go to the East where they should have been all along anyway to make room for Las Vegas in the West. This has already trying to happen officially. It hasn't happened officially. But when it happens virtually in your fantasy league, it's happening. Headset on or off. Look. Nobody is in all-out tank mode. Charlotte, if they are in tank mode, they're doing it in disguise. Because the look on Jordan's face the other night, they were playing the game to win. And they keep losing, they're probably going to embrace this shit and go for the draft pick. But New York, they lost 5 in a row. They're not in tank mode. They're trying to win these games. Cleveland, they've been trying to win. A month, 2 months from now, probably be three bottom team tiers will be in all-out tank mode. It'll be official then. Because let me tell you something. Any one of these bottom 3 tier teams is sometimes the NBA with 82 games. It's a league of streaks. Sometimes this is a league of winning streaks and losing streaks change everything. What shit looks like in November it won't look like in December. And what shit looks like in December won't look like in January because of streaks. Any one of these 3 teams go on a 4-game winning streak. The playoff picture now has changed. Just like that. First seed, second seed, third seed, fourth seed, fifth seed, sixth seed, seventh seed, 8 seeds right here with 15 wins. What would it take for one of these teams to have 15 wins? These teams all right here already are at 15 wins already. Bam. Cleveland. I said 4. They go on a 3-game winning streak, they'll be at 15 wins. Even Charlotte, who in December looks down and out. They go on a streak here, a streak there. Next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. So the entire Eastern Conference is fighting for seeds, not draft picks. The only team at this point that is in full out, all out tank mode, that's Las Vegas. Nobody even knows if they're going to keep their point guard, who right now seems to be the best team on the roster, the best player on the roster. Who knows? He might not be on this roster next year. They need help. They need a generational player. I mean, their whole survival right now, it's only year 1, but it's not the past. Another expansion team may take them out. If they don't, they're gonna need success in order to survive, in order to even, for them to even be a thing. If they don't survive, you know, they're not LA, they're not Boston. They won't have 20 years. They don't have success in certain forms and fashion. They will not survive out here. And they will be gone. We're talking about Las Vegas right now. We could be talking about somebody else. But they don't even exist. Vegas exists right now. Vegas won't exist. They don't survive. The goal, yeah, of course, yeah, they want to thrive, but they're gonna have to survive first. And the big thing for them is gonna be this draft, the next draft coming up. What if Zion will? However you're gonna look on this draft 5 years from after it happens, is how Vegas is gonna have to figure out how to look at it like that on draft night. They're gonna have to know which they're gonna have to look back on the draft class as if it's already happened, because they can't make a mistake of choosing somebody because the whole world said this was the best player. What if 5 years from now he is not the best player? They need the best player. We just kicked off the college season, which is going to merge into this one. So these rankings will indeed change. This is just where they started them off. This is Draft Express, 2K, NBA.com. This is where it started. This is just a rough sketch outline of what they predict. But it is indeed going to change because it's how it happens all the time. As the year progresses, reports will be updated. Now that we got the college system in game with the professional system, they'll be able to update it correctly. Wasn't able to get every university in there. So on draft night, there'll be schools. Any school that's eligible will be able to, somebody can draft them, but like Nevada. Just because we're not going to be able to cover Nevada because they're not this. Maybe another year, but not this year. Nevada's not in the coverage. But Nevada will still be there on draft night. Jordan Brown can still be drafted. But UCLA, Kansas, of course, France ain't going to be in the in-game coverage. but they're going to be in the in-game coverage. It's just from a distance. It's not up and close and personal as we can do with Oklahoma or Duke. They'll still be there. As you can already see, Jordan Brown is predicted right now. It's going to change. He's predicted by NBA.com to go 13th by the Washington Wizards. Already. As is right now. So, can't show you LA's draft board right now. Because I don't have confidence that it won't get leaked to one of these other teams and they'll see it. But we're going to get some personnel from our side. With Denver, LA, Vegas, kind of doing their own thing. We'll see how they do it. A cryptic email. I'm going to cover what they let us cover. At the end of the day, year one is year one. Special because it's beginning, it's year one. It's a special year. It's not going to be the best year. Next year and the year after, when you got every spot filled up, and you don't have no user decisions, you have all user control decisions, it's going to be a better animal. Which goes without saying that we're in the last week of December. And for everybody, it's about to kick off a whole new year. We can drop the 18, turn the page, and slap a 9. Everybody trying to get ready for 19, say how much different they're going to be in the next year. It starts in 18. If you haven't started in 18 for what your 19 is going to be like, you might end up being one of the people who go the whole year saying how much different things are going to be, and it's still the same. Do it all the way to 20 and then start the same dialogue all over again. It shouldn't be that way. Now, if we would have had internet in 2003, that's how it should have been in a perfect world. Because LeBron James, rookie year, all the way to now, wouldn't be so lost in the ether. Should have been more hands-on. It should have been more personal. It's not just from, you could go in, if you got tickets to the game, that's cool. That's real. That's awesome. But if all you had, the only exposure to it was from YouTube, I mean, you still, soaking up the atmosphere as best you can. You still it's still like a movie on the screen. Wasn't hands on. It wasn't as hands on as it could have been, as it should have been. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, a child prodigy has grown up right before you, right in front of your eyes. And the last chapter is here. That's why we had to come out here to LA and do this last chapter. Because we wasn't able, we wasn't there for the first, the middle, the 3/4, none of that. And all the noise going on, people picking sides and all the pettiness and all that. At the end of the day, for those who love the game, it's not going to be the same. Kobe Bryant retires, it's not, the league is just not the same. It never will be ever again. There'll never be another Kobe Bryant, and therefore the game will never be the same. You miss, even if people who didn't like Kobe, but they love basketball, they're going to miss Kobe Bryant. They're going to miss him fucking destroying them. Because it feels that much better when you beat him. but you're going to miss him. Jordan, same thing. LeBron James is not Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, but he is LeBron James. And when he's gone, the league is not going to be the same. It don't matter who got next. It don't even really matter. Hopefully somebody got next. Hopefully another personality, another name will be as big or bigger. For everybody. For all of the potential people who don't even know they love the game yet, who's about to be consumed by the machine. But the irrefutable fact is the league will not be the same. We know this. We went to LA like it or love it. Same color as LSU now. It wasn't hard to love how the purple and gold looks so good. Because LSU wears the purple and gold for years. Way before. You know, another level smaller, but it don't start there, but it starts there before it comes here. And then again, that's arguable and that's debatable. And it's about damn time the NBA got the NBA wasted so many years. Because first off, if you let some of the best players that's going in the Hall of Fame, just two, I'm not gonna go through them all, just two, Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant, they came out of high school. Well, we're talking about LeBron James. These guys came out of high school. It never should have been a rule that made people not be able to come out of high school because they came out of high school. Somebody who's gonna go on to the league and trying to break records in the league, a year not being in the league and being somewhere else, it will be all it takes from certain records that would have been broken not to ever be broken. So you can't go back on that. And now they went back on it and are going back. From that moment to now, it's been a bunch of books that we're kind of just skipping over and acting like it never happened or acting like it was nothing. But it's books. Big time. There's life stories changed all the way through. There's people you don't even know about. This affected so many things that it's books. Stories most untold that will be told later. Some is trying to get told now. But for the most part, they're untold. And this is just beautiful. This should never change. Something this simple. I'm all for competition. I don't want to see a monopoly. I'm all for put all the books on the table and let the students decide for themselves instead of just putting certain books on the table. Something's wrong with that. You know. And right now, the only competition 2K has is live. Right now. So trying to support them both. But something a feature this simple will set you apart because look at the historic context of this. The students of the game who love having this at their fingertips. They don't stop there. You know, this is how history tells a story. You don't need some writer making a novel about it, manipulating your emotions. At the end of the day, people live or die. The intentions don't matter. It's only the results that the grieving mother, are going to care about. If a son's dead or not, that's the only thing that's going to matter. And this is how history will judge you. No matter what you're doing in life, no matter what game you play. Look at this. LeBron didn't come into the NBA until 2003. When Tracy McGrady dropped 32 points a motherfucking game. Look at this. That's not. This right here. Where's the rookie of the year? I don't know exactly where it is, but I know it's somewhere. I don't know where it is. I have to find it, maybe. I've seen it before, though. Yeah, right there. Another click away. It's interesting, though, because one moment they're being drafted. All of these years have passed. For some people, it's been a long time, and for others, it's been turn the page. Now we're here. This year's Rookie of the Year, I don't know. But I know 18 was the year to start doing whatever it is you're going to do, because the universe is young. The universe is 18 years old. The universe is fucking young. Next year's rookies are on the way. But this year, when we look back 10 years from now, they might not say they can say this was the best class. But don't get involved into that best class. 'Cause every year has its own personality. Like, every year has its own history. This year was a nice class. Whoever's going to get it, probably Luka Doncic. Whoever's going to get it, this was a nice class. Personality-wise, talent-wise, story-wise, special class. Class of 18. While we're reviewing the year at this point, some guys are showing signs. There's guys who haven't shown signs yet, who are going to be here for years to come, who could be whatever they're going to be. We could be passing up MVPs, 6 Man of the Years, Hall of Famers, champions, busts, all kind of shit. Storylines of people who got in trouble off the court. I don't know if they ever remembered for drugs, guns, or beating, anything. But some people get so wrapped up in what could happen, what's going to happen, and they overlook what already has happened. And there's always more data on what has already happened rather than what's going to happen 10 minutes from now. There's more data on what has happened. And that's for every phase of everybody's life. This is not just about basketball. It's not just about a game, even though it's all a game. Everything. Betting and judgments. Every time you go out in traffic, you bet because you're making judgments. And if you don't give yourself enough credit, you're here, all the successes you had that got you here, every time you went through traffic and you stopped at a red light at just the right time, you made a bet at that moment. You made a judgment. And that's why you're successful. You're successful because you're still here. But you overlook all of that data. And you wonder why draft night you don't draft